What's going on? What's going on? It's your boy Jay Kancher, and you are tuned in to Streaming with Jay. So we got the Diddy trial. We're doing a recap of the first week. We're going into the second week starting tomorrow. Court starts, I believe, at 8 o'clock a.m., 9 o'clock a.m., and it goes until 3 p.m. Court is adjourned for the day. So far, this is what we got from that. Now, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe for all updates, and make sure you turn your notifications on, because I am going to be covering this story. I did cover a little bit of it in September when he was arrested. But I was very, very, very interested on covering the story when it started to break and everything is starting to come up, because in May we knew he was coming up for trial. So it's been a long 7 months that we were waiting, and now they did opening arguments. Everything's been submitted, all the exhibition and everything and whatnot. Stuff is sealed and whatnot. Now, what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to go through a website and trying to get the affidavit or the testimony or the transcripts, because they do release them, but there's a stipulation of 90 days and then they get submitted, because after 90 days they get released to the public, and then by that time the case is over and whatnot. However, we want to know as the updates go out. So if I can get this stuff, I will let you know. And if this video does over 200 views, count them, 200 views, 200, I will put more out. And if this video gets anywhere between 20 or 50 likes, I will post the transcripts for you. So I'm spending my hard-earned money to get the transcripts, because you got to pay for them one way or another. And I will put PDF them and link them to my channel, and then you can read to your heart's content as it comes up. As I release and have a transcript, you will be able to read the transcripts, and you will be able to have them. Just make sure you hit me with a like and you hit me with a subscribe and whatnot. Doing this work for y'all, so y'all can keep up and get the real lowdown. Anyway, so the prosecution first witness included Cassie Ventura and Dawn Richard. The testimony from Eyewitness News ABC 7 reports that the testimony in the Sean Diddy Combs sex trafficking trial had opened up a window into what the prosecutors say was the sordid world of group sex, drugs, and violence beneath the glittering jet set persona. Combs' ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura, recounted being beaten and pressured into degrading sexual performances with strangers. A lawyer for the Bad Boys Records founder conceded Combs was a jerk and a swinger prone to violence, but argued he wasn't a sex tracker. Ooh, this is crucial, because this is what they're trying him for, and they're trying to RICO him into other stuff. Federal prosecutors called 2 additional witnesses on Friday after the conclusion of Ventura's testimony. For the 5th witness, prosecutors called Dawn Richard, a singer-songwriter who in a civil lawsuit has accused Sean Combs of sexual assault, forced labor, and forced imprisonment. After a series of objections, judge adjourned court until Monday while he considers potentially striking portions of Richard's testimony. That is crazy. That's a lot going on. But so far, what we know is from Cassie Ventura's point of view inside of the story is that Diddy, Sean Combs, pretty much put her through a harrowing of torture, sex, pretty much sex slaving it up with her, or in these freak off parties. And these freak off parties became very, very, very explicit and very, very depraved, and kept Cassie from leaving this abusive relationship that she had with Combs, Sean Diddy Combs. She also reported that one of the freak offs that she had was that she had engaged in urination play with a male escort, where that the male escort was told to urinate in her mouth. And the male escort, who was brought up on the stand to be questioned, reported that it was something that she had coerced, that she wanted to do. Now, Cassie also stated that most of the time she was drugged during these freak offs to the point of not knowing what was going on and not knowing her surroundings, and to the point where they call the Matrix, where they get so drugged up they can't even perform in these freak offs or any type of sexual play. So this kind of counts for a lot of the actions that were performed during these freak offs. So far during these freak offs, we haven't heard of any other celebrities. We've heard of only Cassie being involved with male escorts. We also heard of the fact that Diddy would he would record these encounters and have them on iPads, iPhones, all around that Cassie knew of, and was so embarrassed by this, and she deleted a lot of this stuff. So these were not available for evidence, so to speak. Now, with these freak offs that she was involved in, there was also the matter of the baby oil, what was used for. Now, Cassie had stipulated or reported, or in her statement that she testified, that none of these, the baby oil was used with drugs laced in it. So the date rape jug, that was a rumor that saying that was laced inside of the baby oil, making her more docile and more easy to manipulate. That is some complete false, and she confirmed that was a false. It was just baby oil. The baby oil purpose was for practically lubricant, because during these freak offs, Diddy, Sean Combs, liked the people, the performers, the people who performed in these sexual acts, glistened up. He wanted them glistened up with pretty much baby oil and lubricant every 5 minutes. This is what he wanted. Also, during these freak offs, sometimes he wouldn't be in the room, but he was a voyeur, so to speak, that he liked to watch. But even when he wasn't watching, he was watching because he would be watching through FaceTime or in another room watching this. Then it gets more depraved. It gets darker, where that it was reported that Diddy, Sean Combs, when the event would reach its climax, a lot of these male performers would ejaculate onto Cassie and have it kind of transferred, the fluid transferred from a person to him, and also massaged onto him on his nipples, pretty much. And I know that's very graphic, but this is where the depravity of these freak offs went. Now, these cover the aspect of the freak offs between Diddy and Cassie, and also a lot of this stuff was trying to be disavowed because of the fact that a lot of these things that she would ask or be complicit in this, and she did this in a sense of she asked for these freak offs as well, because there was text messages of her requesting a freak off, or FOs if you see the texts that they wanted to engage in. So Diddy complied. Now, the aspects of drugs. Apparently, allegedly, according to Cassie and I guess Diddy, so to speak, they were both addicted to drugs. Ketamine, MDMA, I guess. I think it's another version of Molly, ecstasy, cocaine. A lot of these different drugs were given out as party favors during these freak offs, and it led into a spiral where both of them became addicted and abusing drugs, where that they weren't aware of a lot of the things they would be doing, and pretty much this is how they were able to run these freak offs to the point where they were dehydrated and they needed an IV drip to continue performing, because, you know, as you can know, it takes a toll on the body, you know, and the only way that Cassie states that she was able to perform is by being so on drugs she couldn't feel anything. So she was able to stay up. She would stay up for days at a time, because she was so, you know, with drugs giving the dopamine, the adrenaline and everything keeps you wired, keeps your blood flowing, and keeps you lucid during that time. So this is where the drug abuse came in, you know, and Cassie admits that she played a huge part in it this way as well, which goes to want me to ask about her deal with the federal the federal prosecutor, did she get some sort of plea deal or some sort of immunity deal for her testimony in court? But with all of these put together, you see a ring of pretty much abuse, drug abuse, sexual abuse, and a lot of coercion. But so far, it doesn't talk about trafficking her. And also, it talks about the cross-examination tried to paint a picture that that it wasn't necessarily trafficking because she was complicit in all this. And did she stand anything to gain from any of these freak-offs that she was involved in? Because basically she was given a settlement from Diddy, and I think in the range of $20 million to settle her case on Diddy about a year or some odd ago. A couple years back, she did file a suit against Diddy, and Diddy settled out of court and paid her a huge sum of money. Also, the Intercontinental Hotel with the infamous video of Sean P. Diddy Combs assaulting Cassie Ventura. That was in an Intercontinental Hotel, and the Intercontinental Hotel, which is owned by IHG, the same people who own Holiday Inn, paid out a sum of $10 million, which wasn't reported until just recently. It's the first time it's ever been publicly disclosed how much she was supposed to be paid out. Now, Cassie also states that she would give this money all back if she couldn't relive this in her life or ever had to go through this. So this goes to show the sincerity of her testimony of what she's gone through. Now, there are a lot of questions that you can ask as far as Cassie Ventura goes, because it's one of these things that, damn, you were involved, but how much were you involved? How much was coerced, and how much was you were forced? At several different times of her testimony, which eventually I will put out the transcripts once I can get them. I promise you, once I can get it, I will put it out. That you could have left. Now, granted, I'm not trying to victim shame, of course, or victim blame, because sometimes victims feel there's no way out. You can't get out, because there was times that, she had a burner phone because she was involved with Kid Cudi at a point, and they were talking privately, and she didn't want him to find out because he would get enraged, and he actually found out, and he did get enraged. The abuse that was there, but then there was times where she was doing projects. She did the Perfect there was a dating movie with Terrence J, and she was doing the press release tour for it. And at these times, when you're at the press release, you're on your own reconnaissance. You could do whatever the hell you want. I don't know if he had people tailing her and where she goes and what does she do, almost like she had a GPS tracker. But at this point, didn't it ever occur to her that, damn, I'm really in deep, I need help, like, help me out, call somebody, anybody to get you out, grab for help. But then how much of it did she want to participate in? Because she started to see it as a job, according to her testimony. She was dealing with Kid Cudi at a point, and she had a relationship, but she was still participating in the freak-offs. So if she's participating in the freak-offs, it kind of gives a confusing story. Like, okay, you were still participating, but you were pursuing a relationship with another artist or another musician, and at any point where is there an out where you can be like, I can get free? Granted, I don't know about her financial situation, but then again, it kind of shows us like, okay, was you doing this and was you get paid, or was this a part of the deal that he was using to coerce you to do all these things to keep your contract at bay? And this is what a lot of the celebrities been talking about for years, about that they own you. You sell your soul when you have contracts, and you don't own your masters. You don't own none of this stuff. And these people got you by the balls, to do their bidding for you. So this is a part of Cassie Ventura's of her testimony. I will post this link up. It's from Eyewitness News ABC. It is very, very, very long. I want to get, before we wrap up, I want to get Dawn Richards like the recap of her testimony, because the judge is looking like he's going to throw it out. So I want to pull it up and see if we can get the cliff notes of it, because we'll cover it. I think, you know what, I'll go live and then we can cover it in, and then everyone can come and talk about it, because damn, I mean, people want to know like exactly the biggest moments where Dawn was covering stuff from. I can't stand these news outlets that want you to deactivate stuff so they can sell you their shit. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Okay, so we got the Cassie testimony, but what we really want to get is Dawn Richards' testimony. We really want to get this testimony, like from Dawn Richards. Let's see. Okay, so they're saying that she's going to return on Monday, tomorrow, but it's unclear how much of her testimony from Friday, I believe, will be admissible. After a lengthy discussion with lawyers, the judge said he will have to think about the matter. Judge Arun Subramanian also accused both parties of using the lack of communication to their advantage. Quote, neither side raised this because they were trying to use these perceived ambiguities in a tactical way, unquote. He says, I quote, I'm saying both sides. I'm not pointing any fingers, unquote. The admonition by the judge is in line with his running critique of both prosecutors and defense attorneys, that they have been lax in explaining and preparing their evidence, resulting in trial delays that threaten to drag out an already drawn out proceeding and creating a narrow opportunities for appeals. See, the judge is on point. This is good, because the judge is like, look, I see what both of you guys are doing, and you kind of make it where that it's done and it's out of the window once we're done here. So for that day, I think it was from the Washington Press, Wesley Parnell. No, it's not from the Washington. Is it? The Washington Post, yes. From Wesley Parnell. The judge has dismissed the jury for the day following Dawn Richards' description of Sean Combs' alleged attack on Cassie Ventura when she failed to make him eggs quickly enough. Prosecutor and defense attorney are now debating the merits of the testimony, whether it supports the sex trafficking charge in Combs' indictment. Defense attorney Mark Agnafilo wants the testimony struck from the record, quote, unduly prejudicial, unquote, and because Ventura did not mention the incident in her own testimony. Prosecutors have argued that Combs' alleged abuse created a culture of violence and fear that allowed him to carry out more serious crimes. Sean Combs continued to beat Cassidy when she was on the floor. Dawn Richard testified, then, quote, proceeded to take his arm around her neck and dragged her by the hair up the stairs. Richard said that following day, Combs invited her and her bandmate, Kalina Harper, who also saw the alleged attack, to record music in his studio. Richard testified Combs told the two women that the violence that had been witnessed was, quote, passion, and she said he threatened that where he comes from, people who say something can end up, unquote, missing. Dawn Richard also testified that she was visiting Sean Combs' Los Angeles home to record music and had joined Cassie Ventura in the kitchen when Combs attacked. He came downstairs angry and was saying, where are the effing eggs? Was his eggs, and telling Cassie she never gets anything right, and where the F was his food. Quote, Richard told the jury, and he came over to the skillet with the eggs in it and tried to hit her over the head, and she fell to the ground. Dawn Richard, who performed in the two bands by Sean Combs, testified that she saw him attack his then girlfriend Cassie Ventura in 2009. All right, so yeah, these are pretty much reporting it. Yeah, within less than a half an hour until the trial is supposed to break for the week, the prosecution called their witness Dawn Richard, former member. Yeah, okay, so this is the testimony that, so basically so far, this is the only thing that she got, and then it was a half an hour and they stopped at that point. So this was, most of Cassie's Ventura was during the week, and then we had a special agent, and then we had Dawn Richards. Now I'm gonna stop here because this is a good place to stop, because we didn't get all of Dawn Richards' testimony, and we got to get the special agent's testimony as well. Special Agent Yassine Binda. So this is when they raided his hotel room when he was arrested last year in September. So we're going to get into that. So if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, like I said, let's get these likes up. Let's get this likes up, or these views up. If I can get 200 views, I will make sure that I go through every aspect of this trial. I'm going to do my own research. I'm going to put stuff together, connect the dots. I'm going to be like a little freaking nutball, puzzle code. It's on the wall. It's in my head. Now it's on the wall. It'll be like that. So, that's what I kind of want to do. Also, if I can get about 20 to 50 likes, what I will do, and I will go live with this, and then we'll do a series on Twitch where I'll go live and I'll try to get the PDFs, or I'll PDF them myself and upload them to my computer, and then we'll do a screen grab, and then I'll go live with the actual documents in front of me. So that way you can read it as I'm reading it. And then we'll do like hours, or like a 2-hour just chatting, and then we'll come back to the case, and then we can open up the case, and everyone can give me their opinions, on it. If you're a lawyer and whatnot, please make sure you correct me on any legal terminology or anything like that. I'm a simple guy. If I had more money, I would definitely get a lawyer and talk to them about the case and what's going on. But right now, as it seems, and I did hear this, and I don't know how far this is off, but I did hear something about Prince, the artist formerly known as Prince. His audio of something about Diddy was revealed recently, and it made Diddy go nuts. But right now I'm hearing so many aspects right now, and from what I've seen, I haven't heard anything about his audio. Okay, so like I said, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe. Also turn your notification on so I can make sure you're up to date with all the latest and greatest of this case. This case is supposed to be on track to finish in another 6 weeks. So we're going to get there when we get there. How many think? Let me know in the comments. What do you think? What is your thoughts? You think Diddy is cooked? You think he's done? You think he's going to be in jail with the rest of the boys and the booty warrior and whatnot? Let me know. Let me be down. Other people, what do you think? Do you think Cassie's full of it? You think Cassie was implicit in this? You think Cassie did this off her own and she's just looking for another payday or to get by? I want to know for your sympathies. If Diddy is guilty, let him go to jail. If he's not, let the man go free. But this is the whole purpose of the court system. And I know we all have our reservations about our court system, but this is how it goes. So once again, thank you for hanging out with me. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with me, and Jay always appreciates that. Once again, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'm going to get up out of here for tonight. But thank you guys so much for tuning in and whatnot, and I'll see you on the next one. Peace.